Okay, we're live and we're ready to kick off with session 3 of Ask Miranda. And today I'm really excited to be here to talk to you about the movement, yay, which is product number 3 that has just come out into the Tanzanian market, the movement. And so I'm really excited to tell you more about this today. Let's kick off with food for thought. I always like to frame the session by just thinking about why we're here. And today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to read you a poem that has particularly resonated with me, and I'm going to show you how it connects to the movement as well. So the poem is actually called The Man in the Arena, but we're going to change it to The Woman in the Arena. So it's woman stroke man as well, because we are inclusive. And it's by Theodore Roosevelt, so bear with me as I read through this. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the woman who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, who spends himself or herself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Now, I first heard about this poem through Brené Brown, and I've spoken about Brené Brown before, and please check out Daring Greatly. There's a really great session on Netflix as well about how you can take that first leap of faith. And we're also, or many people are very concerned with what others think about them. And dare I become a writer, or dare I host a talk show? What will people say about me? Will I be good enough? Will I live up to their expectations? And so when we talk about Daring Greatly, it connects to the movement because this is an aspirational platform. This is an opportunity for everyone to make their dreams come true. This is an opportunity for us to take Tanzania to the world, not just as consultants, as we talked about on the consulting marketplace last week, but as vessels who have ideas and talents. And I'm going to show you how that can be done through the movement. So before we kick off and talk about the movement in more detail, let me tell you a little bit about Empower. We are a Tanzanian human capital consulting firm, lifestyle brand. We serve clients across the country, but also across the region. And so we're proud to be, an organization that is homegrown from our country, that is taking ideas, talent outside of our borders and showing what our country really can do. So it's a great source of pride. We've been operating for 11 years. We are a business through and through, but I guess you could call us a social enterprise in some ways because there's a lot of work that we're doing, particularly for youth, working with young people, upskilling them. Actually, happy Youth Skills Day, which is today. I think you'll probably see a post about that later on that talks about our impact over 11 years. Excuse me. But yes, we've been in the field for 11 years. We work in talent and recruitment. We work in learning and development and advisory and HR consulting. And we also work in insight. So that would be research, data, and helping companies really get to the crux of what their customer experience is. So that's a bit about Empower. But let's talk about the movement. If you were to close your eyes for a second, let's just close our eyes and just think about, what is it that you would love to try out? Something completely new, something out of your comfort zone. It might be to start creating art. It could be to start writing articles. Maybe you fancy yourself as a writer. Perhaps you've also considered hosting a podcast. Well, the good news is this is all possible now. And this is possible on a platform that supports talent and ideas to be shared with the world. So our platform, The Movement, as we've called it, you might have noticed a series of articles that came out through April and May, a series of thought leaders, Tanzanian thought leaders, who were sharing their ideas with the world. And we were publishing these articles on what I guess was a blog at the time. We've expanded this platform. The platform now caters for you to have visual content, written content, audio, and video. So I repeat, this is written content, so it could be articles, audio, so it could be music or podcast content, video content, so anything that you have been uploading to YouTube or any kind of video content that you would want to share with the world, as well as visual. So it could be pictures, it could be your professional portfolio as a graphic designer or as an artist that you want to showcase. Speaking of art, shout out to Nafasi Art Space who provide us with art in our office here. So this is a platform that's now going to allow you to maximize your personal brand, to take your brand beyond an individual profile on social media to a platform that brings together people, like-minded people, I should say, who all have a growth mindset. So the thing that unites us, this is not a religious or political platform. This is a platform that unites people who have a growth mindset. They want to think, they want to contemplate, they want to share, they want to create, but they aspire for something more. So let me take you through the reason why you would want to become a mover. So if you sign up, you become what we call a mover. This is somebody who is contributing to the ecosystem in terms of ideas, innovations, and creation, artistic creation. So number one, I would say, is to do with your brand. And I mentioned this before. What better way to enhance your personal brand than to have a page that either displays you as an individual or your organization? It's also possible for your company or your firm to have a page as well, but puts it in front of the right audience. So the people that are going to be seeing your profile and going to be seeing your content are already similar to you, already have a similar mindset, and want to be amongst others who have that aspiration to grow, people who are willing to dare greatly. So you're amongst other people who are daring greatly. The second thing is influence. And as I mentioned in our last Ask Miranda session, our platform has now over 50,000 people. So you have a captive audience where they could be job seekers, as Empower does a lot of recruitment, and we have Empower Jobs where people are logging on every Monday in particular to look at what jobs are available. We have our free CV builder where people are logging on to download a CV from a choice of templates that we have online, completely free to be used within Empower or outside. We have our consulting marketplace where you can register as a consultant, choose a package, be that 3, 6, or 12 months, and be put in front of companies who are looking for the skills that you have and begin to generate revenue in this very, very volatile environment where there might not be sufficient jobs at present, but where you can still earn and make a living. And then you have the movement, which is very supplementary. So all these people that are registered and are either looking for jobs or just consulting or just there to get a free CV or want to run a movement page are all part of one platform, so Empower's website, which is empower.co.tz. So you've got this captive audience of people that is growing and growing day on day, and you are in front of that audience by becoming a mover. And it's something that would take a few minutes to register and start thinking about what content you'd want to put out. The third benefit, I would say, of becoming a mover is the synergy. The way the platform has technically been designed, it's such a smooth process to be able to integrate audio content with video content, with written content. I admit, when we were first setting up the blog, when we were releasing articles from great thought leaders, it was impossible for us to embed pictures or audio clips or video snippets. Now it is completely possible for you to combine, so you could have a post that has an article with a picture or several pictures embedded, and then have an audio clip in there and a video. So it's completely your choice how you decide to utilize the platform, but the synergy is there. Technically, it runs really smoothly and it's easy to pick and choose your content. And I think the fourth and final reason was reach. So beyond just the platform that is a captive audience of thousands of people, majority being Tanzanians, but we have people registered from around the world. This audience is growing. This audience or target market, we are investing and we are marketing this platform. So this reach is starting to expand by uploading content onto the movement and being a mover who is highly engaged and open and willing to share what it is that they have. you start to trend. People can like your posts that you're putting up there. They can share them. They can share them outside of the platform into their WhatsApp groups. So it's giving you that additional reach where people can now share your content beyond the platform and start to really, really engage with you as a mover. So let's go out there and dare greatly and think about what it is we would love to do. If we could be reborn and we could be doing something totally different, what would it be? I'm going to give you a few examples of the kinds of people or the kinds of things that you can use the movement for. So let's start with an easy example. Writers. A lot of people aspire to write. We're seeing an increasing number of articles being written on other platforms. We're also seeing people putting articles into the local newspapers. It is now possible for anybody to be able to do this. We're taking Tanzania to the world, and you can register as a mover and put your content up there. You can have different series on your profile. So you might have one series that is all about your thoughts on global warming, another series on parenting, and a final series on self-leadership. I've just actually set up a series on self-leadership, so look out for that. In addition to that, perhaps you've always wanted to host a podcast. So now you have the opportunity to be able to record your audio content. Find a topic that really, really ignites a spark in you. Find guests that you can interview that you think would be vibrant, dynamic, and interesting. People that we would want to hear from. And you can now upload this content. So fine, you might be putting it in some of the other other app software that might be out there, the international ones, but you now have something that is local, homegrown, near kwetu kabisa, Tanzania first, and we're taking Tanzania to the world. So you can now put your podcast content onto one series. And even within your podcast content, you might decide, these are my interviews with a series of leading women in Tanzania. This is my series of podcast interviews just about my thoughts on global warming. And the final series is about memories from the past, and I'm sharing life lessons that I learned after each decade, perhaps. These are ideas that I'm coming up with off the cuff. However, you have the freedom to choose how you want to take your brand to the world and to our expanding audience within Tanzania as well. Perhaps you're a photographer and you want to put a gallery of your artwork up. This could be, pieces such as this behind me. Maybe you are a painter. So how do you make sure that you take great photographs of your art and you're now putting it up in a gallery? You might find that you are using the movement to supplement your consultant's profile. So perhaps you have a portfolio that you want to put up as a graphic designer. And so you'd have a second series where you could put all your examples of artwork that you might have made for other clients, so a portfolio on the movement. Or perhaps you are a travel enthusiast and you want to put all your pictures of the beautiful parts of Tanzania that you've been to, and you could have a series on every region that you've visited. The choice is 100% yours on how you choose to present yourself and to share images. For the musicians out there, good news for you too. This is an opportunity for you to get your music out to the world. As I said before, there is audio content. So you could have different albums or demos that you're loading. You could share jamming sessions or snippets of work that you're doing in the studio as pre-release before it comes out. But for musicians, this is a great opportunity to get your music in front of a wider audience. They may not already be your followers, but you might gain new followers and customers of your album as well, who fall in love with what it is that you do. So for musicians, this is also a great platform. Now, if you fancy yourself as the new or the Tanzanian Oprah or Wendy Williams, we were laughing about that in the office today, there's also an opportunity for you to upload video content. Perhaps you want to host your own talk show. If that's the case, you might already have one, and then you could just take that content and upload it to the movement, or you might want to create one. Anybody can be whatever it is that they aspire to be. The movement is about realizing your dreams, realizing your potential, and daring greatly, doing something that is out of your comfort zone in a supportive environment amongst people that are all there to learn from you and grow with you. So the movement is your space. If you're a thought leader, and we had a lot of thought leaders that submitted articles when we initially were releasing those in April and May this year, if you fancy yourself as an ideologist, philosopher who has ideas on how life is structured, or an economist, and you want to share your thought leadership on a technical field, a scientist, a researcher, whatever it may be, we welcome that intellectual content. We welcome you to come and set up your own series and share on different areas of thought leadership overall. So for thought leaders, we want to see you, we want to hear from you, we want to learn from you. As I said before, this is an opportunity for us to take Tanzania to the world. And if you're a teacher, and there are lots of teachers, quite a few that are not working at the moment, if you're a teacher, you have an opportunity to gravitate towards a new audience or student base or fan base. What is it that you feel you would excel at in terms of teaching others? Perhaps you want to run a series that supports high school students with some small clips of key lessons and start to trend in that area. Or perhaps you want to target adult learners and you want to support with language skills. So it might be how to learn Spanish and some basic content that you could upload there, which could be audio or it could be video. So teachers, this is also an opportunity for you to diversify, to step out of the classroom, to start to generate content that is much needed in subjects that are desired by our community. So how can you as a teacher now pivot and think about how you can use your skills in this arena? I forgot to mention, when you become a mover and you set up your profile, there's an additional feature or opportunity that you can have, which is you can switch on a switch, I guess, that says, I welcome people to reach out for me to be a speaker or a panelist at events. For some people, they aspire to speak at events, perhaps motivational speaking or sharing your personal journey, which can be incredibly powerful for people to hear and learn from your personal experience. I'm part of an organization called EO, the Entrepreneurs Organization, and the whole thing is centered on learning from other people, no judgment, just experience sharing, not advising. So where can we harness this as well on the movement? So you can now become a speaker, you could be invited to be a panelist, so somebody would see your content. It takes you beyond that kind of transactional relationship whereby you might be registered as a consultant on the marketplace, but now your content, your thought, your heart and soul and brain are now being displayed on the movement. So this is an opportunity for you to show us what you got, to show us what you can do. It's easy to write a profile about how great you are and what skills you have and what value you can bring to an organization, but the movement brings you that beautiful synergy that takes you from transactional to who are you really? Who are you behind that profile? What can you do? What value can you add? And why should I invite you to come and speak at my event? Or why should I hire you to come and work in my company? So great synergy there between the consulting marketplace, having a great CV, of course, with our free CV builder, and now shifting towards this aspirational lifestyle platform where you are able to share your ideas with the world. Guys, we're taking Tanzania to the world. We have talent, we have ideas, we have energy, we have so much to give. And this is your platform. This is our platform. This is the movement. We hope you will join the movement. To join, www.empower.co.tz. When you get to the homepage, you will find a navigation bar at the top. It will ask you if you're looking for Empower jobs. Those are for the people who are searching for full-time work. Remember, we have a talent team within Empower who are helping people every day to find full-time jobs. You will see another link that says Free CV Builder. This is where you can go in and download a great template. It will automatically pull together all your info that you've put on your profile and generate a fantastic CV, be it entry-level, mid-level, professional, or an executive CV. Those options are there for you, and it is 100% free. You will see the third navigate on the navigation bar there, which is the consulting marketplace. This is for our consultants who have skills, be it at an intermediate level or junior or guru, as we call it, who's perhaps been consulting for many years. This is where you can market your skills. And finally, there is the movement. It'll show us hashtag the movement. Please feel free to use that hashtag and join the movement today. This is where you can make your dreams come true in a safe, positive, and uplifting environment. And we can't wait to see what you're willing to share. This is taking Tanzania to the world. And with that, I think we should open up for questions. We've got 10 minutes left. I can see lots of people starting to log in. Hi, everybody. Melissa, any questions?
Okay, so there are a couple of questions that we have been collecting over the week.
Okay.
Okay, so one of them says, can I sell or purchase goods on the movement page? So if I have artwork, if I have paintings, can I be able to do that on the movement page when I create my profile?
Okay, so let's remember that it's not a shop. It's not an e-commerce platform per se. However, you might own a boutique. You might decide to have a different series for each of your products. But that transaction now, where people are having to reach out to you, it's not a sales platform, but you could register as a consultant and say, actually, I give fashion advice and consulting. I'm a beauty and fashion consultant, so you'd register on the consulting marketplace. And then over on the movement, let's see your sense of style. Maybe rather than posting stock that you have in your shop, why not consider posting different ensembles that you could put together, like these shoes go really well with this kind of skirt, or if you're going to an interview, this is the color of suit you should be wearing, or we advise you to wear, and how to match it with a shirt. So you're actually giving more value rather than just peddling your goods. So I would say we don't want to use this platform as a transactional shop. This is for you to share your knowledge, your skills and abilities, and to make your dreams come true. I hope I answered your question there.
Okay, so the next question says that, can I sign up for the movement if I do not have a consulting marketplace profile?
Yes, you can. So the question was, can you sign up for the movement if you don't have a consulting platform profile? Yes, you can. There's something for everyone on our overall platform, which is empower.co.tz. You can just take advantage of the movement. You can be perfectly happy in the job that you're doing and therefore not need our support for jobs. You could already have a great CV and don't need our CV builder. You might not have time or be interested in consulting, or perhaps you're not even allowed based on your contractual obligations with your employer. You can just be a mover. Remember what I said, that this is all about aspiration and what you want to become. So you might already have certain skills, or, a good example might be someone like Rita Tarimo. She runs a talk show. She's a Tanzanian talk show host and author. Perhaps she wants to share her content to a wider audience. She can instantly become a mover and start to share it. But there might be somebody else, maybe me. I've never run a talk show. It's not something that I aspire to do. However, this would be a safe environment for me to try out 1 or 2 sessions and get to know people's feedback and see if people are liking what I'm sharing, and whether I should continue to push out more content in the area of being a talk show host. So it's an area where you can just sign up to be a mover and just share articles, or your vlogging. Perhaps you're a travel enthusiast and you want to share tech articles, or you want to share videos on how to handle natural hair. Please share those, we need them. So you can just sign up for the movement, it's fine.
Okay, one final question. So how can you differentiate the movement with any other social media platforms out there?
Okay, so would we call it a social media platform? No, I would say it's a platform of sorts. It's not the same as an Instagram where you're kind of going through a timeline, although there is a timeline of content that you can see. I would say the biggest difference is that you can't comment and interact with the content that is there. People can like it, people can share it, but that kind of forum or blog style where people are writing comments will not be there. So if somebody wants to contact you and say, hey, Melissa, that was a great article I saw, if you're on the consulting marketplace, they could do it that way. Or they could contact you if you've checked that box that says, I would like to be a speaker or be invited as a panelist to an event. However, you're not going to have any trolls on there saying negative things about what it is that you're doing, but equally you won't have people commenting on your stuff. And I think that's the biggest difference between our platform and some of the international social media platforms.
Okay, so those are the questions I have for today.
Okay, I saw one question here. Pamela, hi. She says, I love your new product varieties. You have grown in such innovative ways. Thank you so much, Pam. Can't wait to see what else you bring to the workplace and labor market. Pressure's on now. We've got a couple more surprises in store, but yes, we've got one from George Chapo. I don't know if that's his real name. Miranda, let me know who inspires you. Okay, that's taken us way away from the movement. So I'm gonna be a little bit cheeky here, George, and say, I need you to get on the movement, because tonight I'll be posting an article that talks about my journey and what has inspired me to get to where I am. So check out my channel on the movement. Please follow me. Thanks, George. And let's have a look. If there are any other questions, this would be the time. We have just a couple more minutes. Something that, actually, Melissa, something that somebody asked me earlier about the movement. They said, if I can just post my own stuff on my social media, why would I need the movement? And that's an interesting question. This is something that I would say is to be used not to replace your existing channels. So perhaps you've got an account on Medium, perhaps you're posting articles on LinkedIn, or you have your own Instagram page where you're displaying your photography. We want to supplement, we want to add to this. So you are taking content from other places and you are adding it to your movement profile. And particularly for businesses, we see this as being a great value add for people to be able to understand the nuts and bolts of who you are. For some of the big corporates, they're not allowed to have as much of a personality, but now with the movement, you'd be able to share your personality with the world, particularly for Tanzanian businesses that might not get as much visibility. Let's show people what we've got. Let's show the region that we can forge forward, and we are already at the highest rate of growth, even though we have survived COVID-19. We are reeling, but we are ramping up and we are starting to move forward. Let's show the world what it is that we can do. Let's use the movement to share our ideas. Somebody, I think on one of our social media platforms, asked as well yesterday, what about, isn't there a danger in sharing our ideas? Absolutely not. I think I saw Jumanne did a post on Twitter the other day, and he said, the only way to protect your ideas is to implement them. So get your ideas out there. Nobody can do what you do as well as you do. Somebody cannot steal your idea because you are the one that is able to do it the best. So with that, I'll say, let's continue to dare greatly. Think about what it is that you aspire to be. What do you look forward to being or trying? Be that in your writing, be that hosting interviews, a talk show, sharing your artwork. Perhaps you're a poet and nobody knows it. This is your platform. This is our platform. Let's take Tanzania to the world. The movement on www.empower.co.tz. I can't wait to read your content. Tag me on Twitter if you post anything, because I am there. It's been great to be with you. My name is Miranda Nyman. I am the founder and managing director of Empower, and this has been the 3rd edition and my 2nd time on Instagram Live of Ask Miranda. If you have any other questions, please reach out. I will just share one more piece of useful information. Tomorrow at 6 p.m., we have a consulting marketplace masterclass. It is a free session. It's happening at Inspire Center, which is the 9th floor of Tanzanite Park, where you will learn more about the consulting marketplace, how to use the movement in that, but more importantly, you get free knowledge. You're going to come and join an interactive workshop with one of our expert facilitators on how to maximize your personal brand. Your brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. What do people say about you? Thanks, guys. Have a great afternoon. Be blessed. Can't wait to see you soon.